here's a short little video of how my press brake works. So I made this for my hydraulic press. Basically all it is, a piece of 3x3 square stock with some 3/4 inch cold roll. And then my punch is AR 400. I just use hard plate because I didn't want the edge to be soft and deformed. Anyway, so when I'm bending with this thing, I use a back gauge, and it's just simple. And what I do to set my back gauge is I draw in inches, so each one of these washers are about 1/8 of an inch, so I just kind of put on as many washers as I think I need. I want on this particular bend, I'm going to go 3/8 of an inch. And then I'll back off my nut a little bit. Then I've got the back of my die is threaded. And we'll get 1, 2, 3 more. We'll put it on this side. That'll set my depth so that my bend's in the right place and consistent on all of them. And I line this up with the center. Now, the next thing I do, in order to have my bends be consistent, I fill the trough with flat bar so that the punch can only go down exactly the same amount each time. So for this first bend, what I found is one piece of 1/8 inch flat bar is enough to get me exactly where I want. And I'll just put that in against the back gauge. Go down until it won't go anymore. And that's about as close to a 90-degree bend as I need. So I can finish the rest of my plates one after the other. 2, 3. I don't have to constantly sit there and measure my angle and press a little bit more because there'll be no uniformity. 4. And a good indication of how consistent they are, I'm going to stack them together. They're all the same, right? So now the next one I'm going to bend is these little brackets. Now I only want to bend them like, it's not critical, but like 30 degrees maybe. So it's going to take my whole stack of flat bars. And then what I found is it doesn't always work out with an 1/8 inch thick flat bar. So we'll use banding and a combination of both. But what I have here is exactly what I need to make the bend I need. I usually put my bandings in and then cover them with a flat bar just because they'll be loose and flopping around. Anyway, then we'll stick our bracket in again. And it just so happens that that's the right depth where I have the back gauge. We'll go down till it stops. Okay, and that's kind of the bend I want, right? So I'll put the other end in. There we have it now. Not 100% sure I like that. So I'm going to go with one more flat bar. You see how my flat bars, they kind of get destroyed after a while. But I have lots. Every once in a while I'll give it a little extra squeeze just to straighten it out. And let's see if we like this bend better. Yeah, so now I want to go in between these two, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out one of my pieces of flat bar, or banding, sorry. I'll put my flat bar back in, and I bet you I'll be right exactly where I want it. Now this particular part doesn't have an exact bend, it's just a bracket that we bend to make so that we can fit our links into it. But there, and that's what I want right there. Now I'll bend another one just to show consistency. 1, 2. And then you can see again how well they fit together, so that shows how consistent the bends are. It's not a perfect science, but for bending brackets, and it just saves me having to have a big complicated press brake when all I need to do is bend little things like this. So there you have it, pretty simple. You can build your own.